Welcome to Camper Family Orientation. This year our theme is Adventure is Out There. During orientation we are going to discuss the camp policies, camp procedures, your check-in and check-out procedures, give you a tour of camp, and then just cover some housekeeping items that you and your camper need to be aware of so that we all have a safe, fun time at Camp Timpoochee. So this is our first checklist. We want to make sure that your 4-H online enrollment is completed. Also that you have registered for camp under the My Members list and the event registration. We need to make sure that all of your 4-H and camp releases are signed. This includes releases on the participation form, for surveys, for publicity releases, and then also the camp releases are going to be the releases that relate to who can and cannot pick up your child. We need to make sure that our 4-H camp authorizations are signed. These relate to the cell phone policy and drop-off pickup procedure and head lice check procedures. There are some attention items at the end of this slide. If your camper's last name is displayed, you will need to see Ms. Cheryl. If your name is displayed under my side, you will need to come see me to pay your camp balance. So in this slide, we want to talk about camp purpose. Why camp? Why do kids attend camp, and why do they continue to come back to camp every year? So our goals here are to develop those social skills with our youth interacting with each other. Also, they're wanting to be able to explore their environment. We are very fortunate that Camp Timpoochee is the only camp that is on bayfront. The other camps are actually on the lake. So we have the opportunity to explore marine science and really give our youth a broader appreciation of the different types of organisms and biomes that are out there for them to explore. So they're also going to learn through experiential learning, and that is the learn by doing method. So not only are your youth going to be able to choose track classes that are maybe science-based or skill-based, they're also going to be able to interact with that curriculum in a learn by doing environment through activities where they get to get their hands dirty. We're going to build meaningful relationships with positive role models. This is including their teen counselors within their cabin, our state staff, the camp director, and also their agents. We're there to have fun with them as well. Last but not least is participating in experiences that are new, different, and fun. So my particular 4-H rule is that everybody has to participate. So if our campers are sitting on the sidelines, by all means they will see me come up and pull them in to the activity so that we can all benefit from the experience of camp. Our camp objectives. These are things that we want the children to learn while at camp. So first and foremost, we want them to learn that learning can be fun. We want them to have a lot of activities tailored toward toward the curriculum that they are experiencing. We want to improve communication skills amongst their cabin mates, but also amongst camp in general. They're going to work cooperatively together in groups, in their cabin groups, in their color groups, and as a whole when we do full camp rec activities. I want them to learn and practice ethical behavior, so making those right decisions. Acknowledge abilities and limitations. One thing I like to remind everyone of is 4-H provides a safe environment for our youth to not only showcase their abilities, but also experience limitations, experience that failure in a safe place so that they can learn those life lessons from those and just continue to build their toolboxes, if you will, of abilities and experiences. So next is to improve their physical skills and fitness, set goals and make decisions individually and as a group. We want them to experience a variety of recreational activities, appreciation of different cultures and diversity, and learn about the natural environment and improve their stewardship skills. These next two slides will cover some frequently asked questions. So what is our 4-H camp mission, philosophy, and program emphasis? The Florida 4-H camping programs develop life skills in youth through experiential education, or that learn by doing approach, where they're actually getting their hands dirty, getting in there and doing activities that relate to the curriculum or the life skills that we want them to gain. Rooming requests and cabin assignments, we do make sure that your youth has at least one of their requests granted. We can't always grant 2 or 3, so we do make sure they have at least one request granted for a roommate, as long as that falls within that 2-year range. And youth must be within 2 years of their cabin mates. So when you're going to contact your camper at camp, of course there is the no cell phone policy. However, my cell phone is always open for you to call or text me, and for our campers to call or text you. If you just need an update throughout the day, feel free to shoot me a text or give me a call. I just ask that you have patience with us because we also are out there taking pictures and playing games with the kids. So frequently asked questions again about our cabin for cabin supervision purposes. So our campers are supervised in the cabins by our teenage counselors and counselors in training. Those are considered now our junior counselors. So each cabin has at least 2, if not 3, teenage counselors in them. These counselors have gone through a minimum of 6 hours of training with us, but I also require mine to come and volunteer at day camps and other activities we have throughout the year so that they can familiarize themselves with potential campers and they get that experience in managing groups and personalities and ages and that sort of thing. We as agents do not stay in the cabins with the campers, neither do any other adults, nor are any adults allowed in the cabins. Agents and staff perform regular night security walks. We do take shifts all night just to ensure the safety of our campers. There is a lights out policy, usually in the 10 to 11 o'clock range, and we again walk around all night and just make sure that camp is safe and secure. Right, for our camp food policies, all food is provided by camp, so there's no need to send any extra snacks or anything of that nature with your camper. Within your camp payment covers all meals, and it also covers their canteen time each day. Usually they'll have a small canteen in the morning, like a popsicle or a quick snack. In the afternoon, they're able to dig into the sodas and either a bag of chips or a candy bar. So all of that is covered in your camp cost. Do not pack or allow your camper to pack food or snacks in their bags for this specific reason. And also we have food allergies we have to be aware of, and our campers are not privy to that information. Another thing is when there's food in the cabins and there's trash everywhere, there are also bugs and rodents and things that will come into the cabin. So again, we appreciate your efforts in this. If we do find out that food is in the cabins, it can be confiscated and they will not be able to have it for the duration of camp. If you have any food allergies or sensitivities, please let us know. The link below is a Camp Timpoochee tour, so this would give you a virtual tour of camp, and this is courtesy of the Santa Rosa 4-H agent, Miss Prudence. So the beginning of this video is tailored to her county specifics, so you will want to skip ahead to about 12 minutes and 20 seconds. That's where they actually arrive at Camp Timpoochee, and she'll take you through to see the cabins and all of the buildings there where you would need to check in, and the waterfront and where you can get an idea of where your campers are going to be all week. Because again, our policy is that no adults are allowed on campus or the cabins beyond the auditorium. So you will bring your child in and drop them off at the auditorium. You will not be able to go to their cabins. Here's our camp drop-off and check-in plans for Monday morning. New this year, the camp gate will be locked until 9:30 a.m. Every year we have an issue with early drop-offs. Please, parents, please plan to at least have the majority of your morning off from work or other responsibilities, because you cannot leave until your child has been completely cleared and checked in for camp. This includes the head lice check. This line will likely be long in the morning, so please plan for time and patience that morning. Our counselors will greet you guys as you arrive. Your parents are going to sign you in with Miss Cheryl. At that time, we ask that you turn in your medication, so parents will have to sign in medication and sign out medication. That's going to be with Miss Cheryl. Camp store money is going to be checked in at that time too. It will be signed in and signed out just like the medication check-in. Camp store money, we will cover that later, but we want it in a labeled Ziploc bag, just like the medication. Cell phones will be checked in as well in a Ziploc bag with your name on it to Miss Cheryl, and then I will hold on to that for the duration of the week. I would suggest that you make sure that your cell phones are turned off when you check those in so that you have plenty of battery left on Friday morning when we return them back to you if you want to catch a couple of selfies with your cabin mates. Parents are not allowed in the cabins. Parents, you are only allowed in the auditorium to check your children in and no further. The camp staff and our counselors will be more than happy to help the youth get their luggage to the cabins. Counselors will distribute our campers' name tags. On those name tags will be your name, your color group, your cabin number, and your counselor. Head lice checks will also be your, it says first stop, but really it will be your second stop, and that will be with me, Miss Jenna. We will be set up in the front of the auditorium along the stage front. Campers that have been cleared will have a yellow wristband that has clovers on it. If your camper does not have this wristband, they are not going to be cleared, nor can you leave until they receive that. Pre-camp lice checks will be performed the week before camp at our office from 8:30 to 4, just to be sure to give you that extra assurance if you want to make sure that any issues are cleared up or any concerns addressed. Here is our Head Lice 101, and you also will have this EDIS document printout in your parent packet. This is to give you information on identifying head lice and also some ways to treat it. So the adult female is the one that's going to lay the eggs. She looks like this image here. They have the longer bodies, kind of a tear shaped. The nits are also that teardrop shape that's usually attached closer to the base of the hair shaft. Nits are generally found again at the base. Their easiest place for them to be found, especially initially, is behind the ears and at the nape of the neck. Those places are highly protected by your ears and your hair, so that's why they choose those places first. Live nits are brown and placebo nits are white. So in relation to camp, The live nits are going to result in your child not being cleared to attend camp that day until they return with you and a doctor's note that has cleared them for camp. The placebo nits are the white nits, and they are the dead nits or sterile nits, and those can be cleared to stay at camp. This slide shows you the general progression in growth of an adult lice, so from hatching through on adulthood. The link here you may click on for further information if you so choose. If you find one of the smaller lice bugs, you can remove that bug, and that's going to help you in cutting back on the nits that are laid in the hair. On the other side, you will see a picture of a nit on the hair and then the placebo nit on the hair. Again, these are teardrop shaped, so they're going to be closer to the base of the hair, real close to the scalp. If they're further down the hair shaft, that's usually because your hair has been treated and it's starting to release from the hair shaft. So with that being said, a good way to identify the difference between a nit and just dandruff is you can do what we call the flick test. So if you can flick the nit or dandruff, if it moves, then it is likely just dandruff. If it stays stuck on that hair, then that is probably highly likely a nit. If it is a placebo nit or the white nit, then they can be cleared for camp because there is no issues there for it to be hatching later or during camp. If it is the brown nits, then those are live nits and they would hatch while we are at camp, and those need to be treated. This slide refers to our refund policies. So campers cannot leave camp and return for any reason. Once they are signed in on Monday, they are with us until Friday. Campers leaving camp for illness, accidents, or a family emergency can be refunded at a pro rate from Monday through Wednesday at noon. After Wednesday at noon, there is no refund. This also includes homesickness after this time. Campers sent home for disciplinary reasons do not receive a refund at all. This slide refers to any behavioral or disciplinary issues that may arise at camp. So our policies are that the expectations and consequences are listed in our 4-H Code of Conduct, which youth and parents have signed, whether it be on paper or online. Our expectations are reviewed again on camp at the first day, and they are reviewed daily, sometimes hourly, depending on the situation. What I like to tell all of my campers and my counselors is that Miss Jenna has extremely high expectations for myself, and I do not lower them for me, so I will not lower them for anyone else. So I do have very high expectations on your behavior at camp. There is no corporal punishment. This slide refers to my expectations of my counselors and campers. I want you to be respectful all the time amongst each other and amongst adults. I can defend you until the end of time as long as you are respectful. If at any time you feel like you have been disrespected by a camper, by a counselor, by a staff member, by any other adults, or by myself, you are welcome to come and discuss that with me in a respectful manner, and then we will handle the situation. That allows me to be able to be your advocate in these situations. So again, always be respectful. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, and then allow me to be your advocate and take care of any situations that may arise. Be on time all the time. If you happen to be late to flag rising or anything else of that nature, you are liable to get the Miss Jenna stare, which looks very much like our pirate on this slide. Follow all the 4-H rules and policies. Always dress appropriately. I want you to set a good example. I do not care what other counties do or what other children do or what other counselors do. I expect you guys to be the good example. So I want you to make sure that you are following all the dress code policies that I have set forth. Always speak appropriately, no slur. Here is a slide that just is for extra assurance for our parents in that our teen counselors have been trained with me through the Be Safe curriculum. And SAFE refers to them providing our campers a safe, affirming, and fair environment. This is a bullying curriculum that 4-H implements, and myself and Holmes County implement highly every year for camp counselor training. So in this, they have covered these 3 main areas and a lot of subtopics under these. So first, the focus area was exploring bullying. So they're able to identify different types of bullying. Next is understanding differences. This deals with diversity. It also deals with This is just a fun slide we added this year. This is myself and Miss Nikki on Wednesday at camp. There's definitely a filter being used because it's Wednesday at camp. So this slide, feeling cute, might sing some camp songs later, I don't know, was put in here specifically relating to our dress code policy. So camp is really not the place to be worried about feeling cute or looking cute. You want to be functional. You want your clothes to be comfortable. So we're going to cover some good tips on how to make that happen. This slide is our do not pack list. You will see it here. You will see it in your camper family orientation packet. You will see it in an email that I send out. And we will remind the kids again on the first day of camp that if they have any of these items, they have a grace period to turn those in to us without any repercussion. So, do not pack. Number 1, cell phones. Cell phones. This is a technology-free week. Cell phones are also on the do not pack list for the specific reason that our campers do not know who can and cannot have their photo taken. So we do not want to endanger another camper's time or life at camp by having a cell phone present and taking pictures or videos when that's not allowed. Do not bring any iPads, MP3s, any kind of recording or music devices. And this too is for your protection. These things are expensive. Things can grow legs and walk off at camp, and we want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. So the best way to do that is just not to pack it. Next, electronic games. They can bring board games if they would like, but again, no electronic games. No chewing gum, no food. All of that is provided in your camp cost. No fireworks, no jewelry. Now, you can pack jewelry if you like. One thing that I like to remind people of is it really doesn't matter the cost of the jewelry, it's just how important it is to you. So I may have some $2 Walmart earrings that I absolutely love, and it would break my heart if they grew legs and walked off at camp. So to me, that is an expensive piece of jewelry. It's expensive emotionally for me. I'm emotionally attached to it. So again, it's just a good idea not to bring too much jewelry to camp. Medication. No medication should be found in a camper or counselor's bag that is in their cabin. All medication, allergy, Tylenol, cough drops, medicated ointments, anything of that nature needs to be turned in when you sign your camper in on Monday morning, and it stays with a nurse. If your child has a headache, they need Tylenol, they have a backache, they have sunburn, anything they need any medication for, the nurse is there 24/7, and they can get in touch with their agent, and we will make sure that those needs are taken care of. No inappropriate reading material, magazines, books. This is the please do pack camp list. So, first and foremost, medication. Please pack your youth's medication. Camp is not a good time to restrict meds. Camp is very fun, but it can be very intense. They're up between 7 and 8 o'clock. They're asleep in the 10 o'clock hour. So there are long days, there are fun packed days, and there's a lot of stimulus at camp. So it's really not a great time to restrict the medication that they may need on a daily basis. So moving on, our sheets, they need to have a twin sheet, a blanket if they choose, or a sleeping bag. Cabins can get cool at night. Walmart sells the twin bed pack. It's a fitted sheet, a flat sheet, and a pillowcase. Perfect for camp. Also bring you a pillow. Camp does not provide those. Pajamas. These need to be 4-H appropriate so that in the event we needed to evacuate a cabin, again, this has not happened before, but just in case we needed to evacuate the cabins at night, you are appropriate and can get up and get out of the cabin safely. Toothbrush and toothpaste, brush and comb, soap, hats, shampoo, conditioner, towels and washcloth, a swimsuit. Girls, you need to be sure that if you are bringing a two-piece, that the top and bottom are appropriate, and that you bring a solid cover-up. If you're going to bring a tank top cover-up, it needs to be tight under the arms, and it needs to go down to the top of your bathing suit bottom. Girls, your swimsuit bottoms cannot be chikinis. They must be the full bottoms, meaning that they cover your entire bottom, or you will be asked to put on shorts over your swimsuit or a bigger shirt. If you happen to forget your cover-ups, or if you happen to forget 4-H appropriate clothing, Miss Jenna always has a nice stash of oversized t-shirts and basketball shorts that go down past your knees. Alright, next side, tennis shoes or sneakers. Do not bring a brand new pair. Shoes get destroyed at camp because you're in them all the time. Water shoes, you may get these at Walmart. Little $5 pair are perfect for camp. If you do not want them back at the end of camp, tell your camper to leave them there and they can be donated for other camp weeks. If you forget water shoes, camp always has a good stash of water shoes that our kids can use. Crocs are allowed as water shoes, but you must wear the sling on the back of them to keep them on your heel. They can also be approved as closed-toe shoes for walking around camp, but again, the back has to be on those over your heel. They are not recommended, but they are allowed. Several changes of play clothing. I would bank on 2 most days, 3 every now and then, especially when we do some of our highly intense activities like marshmallow paint war. So pack at least 1 change of clothes that you don't mind not getting back. Undergarments, sunscreen lotion. I will have plenty of this, but also pack your own. Flashlights, just in case you want to use them at night. Insect repellent, powder. This is for chafing, so Gold Bond powder or the Monkey Butt brand works really well. Our kids are in and out of the water a lot, so chafing can become an issue if you don't treat it appropriately, and in the beginning, then it could become infected getting in and out of the bay water, and we don't want that to happen. So be sure that if you don't pack powder, you come and see myself or Miss Nikki, and we will get you covered. Sunglasses are allowed, and you may also something new this year is we are going to have a friendly competition amongst cabins. So our Monday competition is going to be the best decorated / spirit cabin. This could be inside and out, or inside or out, however you choose to do it. These cabins are going to get choice of either being first to canteen, first dibs on the camp store, or first to lunch or dinner. Now daily we will do a cleanest cabin award. This will be done in the morning while the kids are at breakfast. So cleanest cabin daily, one for the girl side, one for the boy side. We'll also get to choose either first to canteen that day, first dibs on camp store, or first to lunch or dinner. So you are allowed to bring any pirate themed items to help decorate your cabin. Make sure that these items are still safe, so do not bring a pirate hook that can be considered a weapon. Make sure it's a plastic hook. Also new this year is the Camp Swag store. So here are a couple items, and we will send another list in an email. You can print off in color if you choose to. So in order for the kids to purchase these items, we ask that parents put their money in a Ziploc bag and put Camp Store on the top, then their camper name, and then how much your youth is allowed to spend. If you want to print off this document in the next and then circle what your child is allowed to get, you're welcome to do that too. And we'll make sure that they get those items Friday morning before they go home with you. So on this slide, there are the property of shirts, $10 each, and then they have some fun camp shirts that are $10 each as well. Again, more camp swag. So on this slide is the alumni swag. So if you have a senior graduating this year, or if someone in your family happened to have attended Camp Timpoochee, get them some alumni swag. These shirts are $10 as well. The sticker or button for alumni, a sticker's $5, buttons $1. There are bracelets down here at the bottom. Camp bracelets, those are $1. And there are also 4-H Camp Timpoochee hats. Those are $15. Again, if your youth is going to be allowed to buy something at the Camp Swag store, please be sure to put their money in a Ziploc bag with Camp Store, their name, their allowance, and you will check that in with Miss Cheryl on Monday morning. This slide refers to some of our safety first precautions. So first and foremost, sunscreen. I will ask you if you have applied sunscreen. If you tell me you have, and I for some reason doubt you, I will ask to smell your arm or smell you to make sure that you have sunscreen on, because I am not above chasing you guys around with the sunscreen that I have and making sure that you guys are covered. Also, your counselors are held responsible for making sure that you all have sunscreen on. So when they remind you for the 50th time that day, do not be upset. They are doing that for their own good, and also because I have required them to do that. Sunscreen is not an apply once and be done type thing. It needs to be applied every couple hours, especially if you are in and out of the water. So again, if your counselors are reminding you for sunscreen, just put some on to be safe. Heat cramps are something we're going to watch out for. They can occur in your legs and or your abdomen. A lot of these things are a sign that you have not drank enough water. So be sure if you pass by a water cooler that you take back at least 1 cup of water while you're standing there. Heat exhaustion. You can have that cool, moist, pale, clammy feel to your skin. Headaches are a biggie here. Nausea, a biggie here. Dizziness, weakness, vomiting, exhaustion. Heat stroke signals are that red, hot, dry skin, changes in consciousness, you're feeling like you're going to pass out, rapid weak pulse, and rapid breathing. Again, all of these are signs that you need to drink more water. Your counselors have been trained and reminded by me multiple times that if you come to us with these symptoms, we will come to them and ask them how many times they've reminded you guys to drink water. So if they've reminded you the 10th time to take a drink of water, please by all means do so. It's for your own good and so that you can stay at camp with us all week. To prevent the above, wear light-colored, loose-fitting clothes. So think of that as you're packing your bag. This does not relate to your cover-up. Girls, they have to be dark cover-ups, but any other clothing can be light-colored and loose-fitting. Apply sunscreen generously and often. The golden rule would be about every 2 hours if possible. Drink plenty of liquids. Drink water, 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 water all day. Miss Nikki and I will have some of the mini Gatorades, so if you do need a Gatorade just for a quick pick-me-up, you're welcome to come ask us, and if we are available, we'll be sure that we get that for you. Seek out shade whenever possible just to get a break from that heat. This slide relates to our water safety policies. So there's no swimming without a lifeguard. All of your camp staff have been lifeguard trained and certified. No running or rough play on the dock or the seawall. Especially this year we need to be extra cautious around our seawall because there was damage with the last hurricane, or with Hurricane Michael and a tropical storm prior to that. There's no swimming under the dock. There can be barnacles there. You can get nasty cuts and then not be able to get back in the water for the rest of the week. No glass in or around the waterfront. If you find glass or anything dangerous while you're walking around, notify a staff or an agent or your counselor so they can put it in the trash. Wear your shoes to and from the waterfront. These are water shoes. Make sure that you wear your water shoes in the water and to the water. Always, always, always obey the buddy system at all times. So on the first day of camp, there will be a swim test. During this test, you will be assigned a buddy. You and this buddy have a number. Remember that number. When they do a buddy check while you're in the water, you'll be required to give that number in numerical order. So if you're number 10, you need to make sure that when number 9 is called, you are ready to raise your hand with your buddy and call out 10. Otherwise, the count starts all the way. This slide refers to the 4-H medication form that is in your parent pack. We will also have forms available at check-in on Monday morning. So this only needs to be completed by those who are bringing medication to camp. You need to complete the form for all medications and 1 form per youth. So this includes inhalers, allergy medication, lotions, any non-prescription drugs like Tylenol, Motrin, Midol, anything like that. All of these things need to be listed on this form with your child's name and information and the instructions per medication. Prescription medication must be in the prescription bottle for that medication. Place the form of medication in a Ziploc bag with your child's name on it, and then turn that in to the 4-H agent, or in this case, Miss Cheryl, on Monday morning. Parents, you have to sign in meds and sign out meds. Again, camp is not the best time to restrict meds. At this time, we'll go over the family orientation packet that's been provided to you. If you're watching this virtually, then it should be in your inbox as a PDF document. So the first page is just going to be a welcome page for me, a couple reminders on there, a little checklist, and then also on the very bottom right is a box that has my work and personal cell phone, and then also the camp office. Remember, there's not always someone there to answer the camp office phone. I would say the best way to reach me at camp is probably through text. If it's an emergency, by all means call me. But again, I ask that you guys have patience with us in replying to texts and phone calls, because we are out there with the youth, interacting with them during camp week, taking pictures and everything of that nature. So you are welcome to text me and ask for an update picture of your child. I get it. I'm a mother too. So I again will go seek them out and send you updated pictures of your babies. Also, if we have homesickness issues, the kids are allowed to use my phone to call you. I would ask for your cooperation and teamwork in dealing with any homesickness. Here is, we do allow the kids to call you guys, but I would like for you to encourage them to stay at camp and ask them about their day. Ask them what's planned for tomorrow. Ask them what their favorite part of the day was, if they made new friends, and really get them to reflect on their day, because a lot of times that helps them see the fun they've had in that day. They're hearing your voice, they know you're alive and well and out there, and that you are supporting them in this new venture that they're on. So again, my phone numbers are going to be in that bottom right box. Next is going to be a clothing guidelines page. You'll see many dress codes, guidelines, suggestions in this packet. So we're really honing in on that dress code there. We want to make sure that your clothes are free of any suggestive text, logos, anything of that nature. If those are seen, you'll be asked to change. If you happen to think that there's nothing left in your bag for you to wear, again, I have plenty of oversized t-shirts and shorts that you guys can wear. And I'll be glad to let you borrow those if you can't find anything appropriate in your bags. These next bullet says that shorts must be a minimum of 4 inches above the knee. I encourage you to wear Bermuda shorts. There are these Nike running shorts that everyone likes to wear. I would just caution you that the side of those shorts do not need to come up higher than mid-thigh. The kids do not need to roll these shorts, because then they become too short. They will be asked to unroll them, pull them down to the appropriate length, or go change clothes. No sleeveless shirts that are smaller than 3 fingertips wide or go down beyond the armpit. No holes exposing flesh in inappropriate areas, and no mesh shirts. You are allowed to wear the thrash guards or the swim shirts. Those are allowed. But again, if you're wearing a 2-piece, make sure that that thrash guard is not white or light in color where your swimsuit can be seen through. Youth are allowed to bring sandals for dance. This is an example of our Florida 4-H state dress code. Gives you some general guidelines. The kids will not have to be in any professional or formal or business casual, so they'll need to follow the general guidelines, and again, the relaxed goes right along with the general guidelines. This is a packing your gear sheet. It's going to tell you what to pack and some fun things like respect for others, a good attitude, cheerfulness, and then also what you do not need to pack. Cell phones is a biggie, weapons is a biggie, tobacco, that includes vape, is a biggie, alcohol as well, and of course we don't need any bad attitudes. Bad attitudes are contagious, so we want to make sure we leave those at the door and only bring our positive, good attitudes to camp. Here is a good packing checklist for our parents. On here, it may not be on here, but you are allowed to bring the disposable cameras. Don't bring anything else that can take pictures like the smartphones, smartwatches, or anything like that. But youth are allowed to have the disposable cameras at camp. They can be the water version or they can be the regular version. So those are allowed. I would just suggest that you get a Sharpie and write your name on those and make sure that you keep track of that. But this is just a nice checklist to make sure you have everything. Here is another shot of the Florida 4-H medication form. Again, this will need to be turned in Monday morning when you sign in your camper. You will sign medication in, sign medication out. It will be folded up, placed into a Ziploc bag with the medication for your camper. Again, these are one sheet per camper. This slide shows you a general schedule. Ours will be slightly different for evening activities, but this just gives you a general idea of what the camp schedule will look like this year. So camp check-in arrivals need to be between 10 and 11. I would suggest that you get there early, but again, no earlier than 9:30. The line can get rather long when we're trying to check every head that comes through to make sure that your child is cleared and ready to go for camp. This year we have 66, 67 campers, so you can imagine the time it takes for us to thoroughly check in everybody and make sure that everybody is ready to go for camp. As you can see, lights out is generally in the 10 o'clock hour every night, and our kids are going to be up in that 7 to 8 o'clock hour in the morning. Tuesday, Wednesday would be the evening that they would need those clothes that you don't mind getting destroyed and not coming back with our evening activities. And then Thursday is going to be dance night, so that is the night that they are allowed to wear dresses, nicer clothing, so they want to pack one nice set if they would like. They can wear sandals that night, dressy sandals for the dance. Some kids still come in camp clothes, some kids come in t-shirts and their appropriate shorts just because they're dancing the night away. So it's totally up to you as to what you pack for that night. Friday morning, we are going to do things slightly different. We will have a group picture and then a county picture, some closing ceremony activities for our seniors. I would encourage you to get to camp probably around 9:30, 9:45 Friday morning so that you can sign your campers out. If it is not the parent that is signing the camper out, then that individual will need an ID to provide to us in order to sign your camper out. Here is our double checklist. So you want to make sure that your camp packet online has been completed. You are enrolled not just in 4-H online, but also in camp itself as an event, and you've been approved. And you've got if you have any questions related to camp or to 4-H in general, you're welcome to email myself. That's Miss Jenna at brooks15@ufl.edu, or you can email Miss Cheryl at haneyc@ufl.edu. You can reach us at the office. That number is 850-892-8172, or we are located on Highway 83 right by the Fairgrounds building. We're the brick building by the fairgrounds. Other questions and concerns, you're welcome to contact us before camp, and if not, I will see you guys on Monday. If your camper's last name is on either of these lists, we need you to come see us after orientation. You may call or contact us by email as well. Balances were due on May 30th. There is an absolute deadline the Friday before camp by 3 p.m. so that we can get those checks deposited. If your youth is not paid for by the Friday prior to camp, they will not be allowed to attend camp. We will not be taking any money on Monday of camp at check-in. We just do not have the capacity to do that, and it is past the deadline for those balances to be paid. If you have any questions or